With farms growing larger and larger, this half section wasn't enough for successful operation, and the family knew they must have more land. The question was, how to get the money to buy an adjoining half section. They had discussed this back and forth for weeks. Will they loan us the money, do you think? What'll we do if they don't? Oh, let's stop worrying for a while. We'll soon know. Since that half section came up for sale, Dave had tried every avenue to raise the money. Lending institutions were not eager to loan to a farmer, especially for capital investment. It had been slow going, and he felt if they turned him down today, that was the end of the trail. For this time, it was the credit union. Surely they wouldn't turn him down. He'll soon know now the decision of the credit committee.
Well, the lad's got to have an economic unit. Well, if he doesn't get it, he'll eventually have to move. And we have a whole section of land as security.
Yes, the land's not the best in the district, but still, we have ability to pay in integrity here.
Our credit union makes loans like that every day, mostly on a man's integrity. He'll be careful, for he knows he's just borrowed the savings of his friends and neighbors.
You all know that most of our loans have been made on the character and integrity of the man concerned. If we hadn't done that, we'd have forsaken all the things we've been working for. The little man is still the most important one. We need the money of the big fellow, but not at the expense of the little guy.
That's precisely what worries me. We know it. The men and women who started this credit union 25 years ago know it. But are we doing enough to really let the people, our people, the people who elected us, know of the background and the foundation upon which this great movement was built?
Everything is on a bigger scale today. For a handful of dollars a few years ago, now it is in hundreds.
Well, that's what I mean. Isn't everything getting so big that we're in danger of forgetting the principles and in so doing overlooking the little man?
Well, that's why I think Ed's idea of an education committee is a good one. What do you think, T.H.?
There is always a threat to our basic security. But as long as we stay with the principles and philosophy, we can't go wrong. Son, the mother of necessity, created this credit union back in the 30s. We were at an all-time low. It was terrible, the poverty and the way our people left their homes and their land. We had our backs to the wall in 1937. No one would make a loan to a farmer. Finally, we knew no one would help us. We'd have to do something to help ourselves.
Our land, building, farm, everything we got are valueless. I'm fed up with these things.
What I'd like to know is why, with thousands of dollars in this community, we can't borrow a nickel of it.
You know, it seems as if all the money is in the hands of only a few people.
There are whole families living on as little as $7 a month.
We had heard about an experiment going on in the Maritimes and had received study material from Nova Scotia and Boston. We discovered that the first People's Bank had been opened in Quebec in 1900. Alphonse Desjardins worked to gain people's support, and with the aid of his wife, Madame Desjardins, ran the first credit union in America in their own home at Lévis, Quebec. The movement spread. Desjardins was invited to the eastern states, where they followed the Canadian example. Americans like Roy Bergengren gave help later on to the Saskatchewan movement. And all this came from the work of a pioneer in Germany in the 1800s. Raiffeisen laid the basic principles which were to help us in our study groups.
The way it's put here, there doesn't seem to be so much mystery to this business of high finance, once we see it brought down to its simplest terms.
Well, there's one big difference, O'Neill. When the corporation runs a thing, it's the money that rules and makes the vote. Whereas with the People's Bank, it's the